Yo, what's up, Aaron? How are you? Does basic HTML and CSS required to learn JS? Well, I mean, most of the time when people learn JavaScript, they'll probably work with the DOM first, so understanding HTML. Not CSS, but at least HTML is probably very useful, in my opinion. Unless if you just go straight into server-side development, which a lot of people don't do that. Because it's a lot easier to understand what's going on with the DOM first, in my opinion, compared to what's going on with the backend. So, but I would say HTML, probably just the basics of it, understand the elements, and then use JavaScript to understand how you can attach event listeners, insert nodes into the DOM, things like that. Can very help. By the way, if my microphone audio is too low, let me know, because I can't really listen to the stream right now because I have music playing in the background. But you know, if the music is too loud, just let me know. Chat. Excuse me. Yo, what's up, Vi? How are you? Welcome to the stream. Sorry. My throat. I gotta drink some more water, man. Development has been going pretty well. What types of songs are you into? I don't really have any preference when it comes to music. I just listen to whatever I personally like, and that really just can be anything, to be honest with you. Could be country, could be rap, could be hip hop, could be, EDM. I like all types of music, to be honest with you. Even jazz is something that I could, get into. Pagination slice, reducers, initial state. Best resource for learning TypeScript. I have a video on my channel that you can check out. It's about like an hour and a half crash course. Should teach you the basics of it. Welcome back, Anson. How are you, bro? We just missed your lessons. Yo, what's going on, Kai? I hope all is well with you. Everything's going well for me. Just been away for the past couple days, but I'm back now. Excuse me. Okay, so pagination state. Add message, delete message, add message, increment. Okay, well, every single time a message is sent or received, we will need to increment this. And before we fetch the API, we'll need to make sure we calculate this value with the offset. We created a formula earlier, and basically it's just messages sent plus messages received plus increment. So increment is just basically the increments, aka the counter is what I should really call this, which is always going to be increments of 50 no matter what. Could be also be 102, 150, etc, etc. Probably we'll start the project, maybe, I don't even know, honestly, maybe this week, probably in the next couple days, we'll see. I think we're pretty much ready to move on, to be honest with you. Probably I was thinking about starting it today, but I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of stuff that I really want to do before I move on to the next project, so I wouldn't really feel comfortable just like abandoning the project. But I did want to start it today, but didn't really feel like moving on so soon without at least implementing some features. Bro, do you please make playlists on Discord Pi? Maybe not. Don't really have any interest in doing that right now, honestly. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, so basically Lots of love from India. Thank you. Hi, let's have a good stream. Thank you. I like your video. They were really so informative. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. I plan on making some more soon. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so when we first fetch these messages, we really only need to fetch, well, I mean, I don't know, ID number probably will turn us into a payload. So that way, it's because we need the ID as well as the offset. So call this fetch. Why did I call this payload? This should be called response, not payload. Doesn't make sense for me to call it a payload. So I'll rename it to response. Maybe response payload would be more appropriate, but not payload. But probably be more consistent. It's fine. Okay. So fetch message params is probably what I want to call this one. And then so we'll need the conversation ID, which we'll just call ID. And we'll need the offset, which is going to be a calculated number at all times. That's the only query parameter we need. Sai, how are you? Welcome back. Nice to see you. Yeah, I put the music in the background because I don't know. I just want you guys to enjoy the stream. I probably won't be talking too much because I just want to code and kind of tired a little bit. So I'll just let you guys listen to the music. And unfortunately, my keyboard sounds like my new microphone just can't pick up the keyboard sound. I think it's mostly due to the filter, I think. So to make up for it, I added this nice lo-fi track in the background for you all to listen to. Fetch message params. Okay, so let's probably change this to params. Let's change this over here. Fetch messages response, and then we'll destructure this ID offset like that. Don't do that. Okay. So now instead of this, we'll just do this. And then offset. In the beginning, it'll just be 0. Yeah, so this use effect is always going to change based on the ID. So this will always be offset of 0 no matter what. But of course, when we also need to handle something when the component unmounts, we probably want to reset the entire state of pagination. Ari, Jenny, how are you? Welcome back to the stream, man. I hope you're doing well. Use effect. Offset. Okay, so this should fetch those messages in the beginning, I guess. Let's find out. Conversations. Probably not. Don't know if that even did anything, honestly. It's giving me 400. Well, I think, well, the query parameter is definitely offset. Okay. Now, in terms of fetching the API, we have not handled that yet. So we'll do that right now. And since I'm modifying this, I might as well picks this up. Instead of calling it get conversation messages, I should probably call it fetch conversation messages instead. Fetch conversation messages. Might as well do that right now and just be consistent with our naming. That's the thing that drives me crazy sometimes is just being consistent with your naming could go a very long way, you know? If you're not consistent with your naming, it's just bad. Alright, so we do need to add the offset 100%. And this is always going to be 0 by default. And now you can see that it fetches 6 messages, but you can see over here, it fetches only 50. So right over here, this is like what? This is 10 right over here. I don't know what's wrong with my thing, but this is 18. 18 plus. It's basically 50. You can even look at the Redux store too. I'm not going to bother counting every single one. That would take forever. But you look at the Redux store messages right over here. 0 to 49. Index starts at 0. 49 is the end. There we go, right over here. And let's see, 0. Yep, only 6. And that's great. That is great. So, of course, what we want to do is handle the first case, which is the very easiest case because there's different cases, right? There's a case where the users do not exchange messages. They just only want to fetch paginate the messages, right? So we definitely want to make sure we're fetching it and adding it. So how do we do that? Well, here's the problem though, right? Every single time we fetch messages, well, when we call this fetch message thunk, let's see what's going on over here. Fetch messages thunk.fulfilled. I guess what we're doing here is we're finding it if it exists, and if it does, so if it does exist, then what we do is we push all that there. And this slice is responsible for storing messages based on the okay. But this does it individually, which is fine. But of course, you know, this will handle it for the first 50. But what happens if we have? What happens if we want to fetch the next 50 though? Like, yeah, what happens if we want to fetch the next page of messages and add it to the store, right? Because what's going to happen here is if it exists, it'll just replace the current index with the data, which you'll see that when we recall the API, it'll replace all these messages with, you know, the ones that we just fetched, which is not good. So if it does exist, right? If it does exist, then I think maybe we probably don't want to replace it. I don't know why I thought it'd be good to replace it. But instead, maybe what I will do is we could probably just append the messages. State messages, people action. Sup Clement, how are you? Action not payload data. Yeah, so here we'll probably need to just modify the actual messages array for that. Yeah, so instead of replacing, well, we're fetching messages, right? So instead of replacing it, which I don't think this will ever even be a case, right? Because why would it ever? Well, I mean, of course it could exist, right? We've already done audio and video calls already. That was done like about 2 weeks ago. So to answer your question, yes, it does support audio and video. Now, just because it exists in the state does not mean we can just directly add the messages. This is a lot harder than I thought. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to work on pagination right now. Yeah, I think maybe I might probably just create a separate reducer for pagination. Because when I think about this, you know, this is always going to need to replace the data with stale data, which is fine. Or replace it with non-stale data, which is fine. Because once it's in the Redux store, we never really remove those. We never really remove the message from the Redux store. No. Subtyson, how are you? I'm in Pacific Standard Time zone. If exists, then we'll go ahead and push the array of messages towards the end, and that should add the next 50 messages. Okay. So when I guess what I'll have to do is I'll have to dispatch paginate messages thunk. And when we do that, we'll just need to let's see. Well, a couple other things that we need to also do, of course, is this. Once this is done, fetch messages thunk. Probably will update the state of pagination. So we'll need state dot counter 50. So these two numbers become 1, sent and received, plus counter. So action.payload is just going to be sent messages exchanged plus the current counter. Okay, and we only update pagination offset. Well, I guess we never really yeah, I guess we never really do anything with pagination counter. But I mean, I don't even know if I even need this state.counter variable, honestly, because I can always just add 50 no matter what, because you're always going to need to add 50, I think, to the offset. I don't know why this is so confusing to me, even though I have it written in front of me that I figured out earlier. But I don't know why it's just so still confusing to me. plus counter, plus counter, plus counter. So what's counter then? Is counter just always just going to be whatever the value? Yeah, I guess it'll just always be new value, I guess. So whatever action not payload plus counter is going to be equal to offset. Okay. On the first fetch, that will not do anything except for only thing that we do after we fetch the first time is we just call increment pagination counter. I'll set that counter to 50. On the first time, add 50 to the offset, or probably shouldn't say add 50 to the offset, but I should probably say, do I even need pagination counter, honestly? Well, I mean, I'm adding 50 here, and remember this is the value of counter, so I guess we do need it. So, well, you know, in the beginning when we call update pagination offset, everything is just going to be 0. Action not payload will be 0. State that counter will be 0. But we don't even need to call this though, which is what trips me up. Would you ever add a keystrokes overlay? You do a lot of shortcuts I've ever seen. I don't really use any shortcuts, to be honest with you. I hardly ever use shortcuts. Hey Anton, I watched your video on NestJS authentication sessions. I've been trying to personal everything's best way to do that with the JDBT. Just using sessions, I guess. Cookies and sessions. I mean, that's pretty much the best way to handle it, unless if you want to use auth0 and completely let a third-party company own your, own your authentication credentials for your users. That's one way. Of course, we have a spammer. Yeah, I don't know why this is tripping me up so much, man. Payload plus counter. Okay, so on the first fetch, we could just call update pagination offset. That's fine. Add 50 to the offset. Okay. Well, I mean, I think maybe I may have miswrote this. It should really be counter instead of offset. That's what I should write. Add 50 to counter. Because we're always really incrementing by 50. Okay, so update pagination offset, then add 50 to counter. So state counter plus equals 50. Okay. So first fetch, take action not payload, which is the messages exchanged. Take that value, add it with the counter, which is going to be 0. Then you update the counter by 50. Second time you fetch, action not payload will consist of the messages exchange, which will be 0, or could be 10, 20, 30, 50, whatever number, plus state.counter, which is this 50 right over here. Okay. Then you update, then you add 50 to counter. Perfect. Okay. So offset will always be updated no matter what. Okay. So in the beginning, we know that offset will be 0, so that's fine. We'll use that. The second time we fetch, offset will be updated for us, and then it'll be updated for us. We use it, and then we call update pagination offset. Perfect. Okay, so I think what we can do is this. After we dispatch a message, fetch message stunk, there's 2 ways that we could do this. We could either manually handle this ourselves and dispatch the action ourselves, and we can, or just call out then and dispatch the action again. Should be in synchronous order though, because we are waiting for it to finish resolving, which should be fine. Okay, so I can do dispatch. And we want to update the pagination offset. Why do you want to use authentication without JWT? No need to reinvent the wheel. Well, I mean, JWT is not really meant for authentication, to be honest with you. In fact, even on the website itself, it's not defined to be meant for using authentication. Though people use it as authentication, but in reality, you're not really supposed to use it as an entire substitute, but people do it anyways. I mean, you could, I mean, look, let me rephrase that. You can use it to transmit messages securely, right? And ensure that a user is who they are, right? But it does not entirely replace sessions and cookies, and it never will. Hey Anson, with your Arella.js series, can you create a playlist and sort them? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about creating a music playlist from the bot and then sorting them, or are you talking about the actual playlist on YouTube itself? Which state management is so popular and most used one? Redux 100%. But, you know, that could change at any point, you know. But currently Redux is in fact the most popular one right now that every single person uses. And, you know, Zustin, Recall objects are great libraries, but they're not as popular as Redux. Doesn't mean they're bad libraries though, it just means that they're not as popular as Redux. There's a difference between the wording over there, you know. Buffer, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we'll call this the payload. We'll need to get the actual messages exchanged. So we'll grab that value from the message slice right over here. New message. I should call it a new messages counter. And all we gotta do is really select the message slice. It's really straightforward. I wonder if I could select multiple slices. I think I could actually. I don't know if that's a good idea though. Pass in the new message counter. Okay. And then, so this will update the pagination. Okay, so we could try this out and see if it works. Hello, in which company do you work? I probably don't want to disclose that. Do you remember the ways of the wild child? I do not, unfortunately. Your RLJS videos aren't in a playlist, and I'm trying to find some of the tutorials, and it's difficult because it's weird. Well, I mean, there's only a couple of videos that I uploaded for Arella, maybe like 4 or 5 videos that I've only uploaded, so they're really all just there on the channel. So if you just look for them, they should all just be there. So when I scroll to the top, I will go ahead and do this. So basically, as soon as we scroll to the top, you want to dispatch. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's just refresh. Let's look at the Redux store. Let's just make sure that the values are being updated correctly, so we know that nothing is going wrong. It's the first step. So you can see that right over here. Not sure why counter is 100. That should not happen. Maybe I updated counter twice. But I could have sworn I did not. But we shall double check. Fetch messages stunk. Update pagination offset. I don't think I've updated counter twice, so maybe let me try refreshing again. Okay, why would that be? Okay, you know what it is? It's because update pagination offset is being called twice, I guess. 050, but why would that call? Yeah, you know why it's being called twice? Probably because maybe the ID is being changed, I guess. Yeah, you see, sometimes I don't really quite understand. It's in fulfilled. Interesting. Wouldn't it be convenient to use Angular on the front end side? Not really. Hey Ants, never will miss a stream. Well, welcome Timothy, how are you? Why would Angular be more convenient though, is what I'm confused about. Well, I mean, in terms of similar, yes, it is very similar, but I don't really see, you know, I mean, you can use whatever you want. You can even use Vue or NestJS if you want to, and you'd still be able to be fine. Or you can maintain a popular repository too. Well, Copilot is not cheap for small timers like me.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah, this something's happening over here. It's performing render twice. Let's see. So let's see, fetch messages done. Okay, so it fulfills here. And another render happens. If I look at the offs, yeah, it makes 2 API calls. Why does it make 2 API calls though? I definitely don't want that to happen. Well, I mean, there's ID. It's making this change based off ID. Do I have to do it also based off of Well, Angular is not a bad framework. I personally used to use it a lot and I like it. But you know, you can use whatever you want and achieve the same result. Yeah, so it's making 2 API calls. Yeah, that's problematic. I probably don't want to rerun this hook whenever new message counter changes. Maybe dispatch, maybe. Because if I pass in new messages counter, it'll just run infinitely, I think. Wouldn't it? Or would it not? I don't know, sometimes these multiple calls trip me up a little bit. But what if I just remove this? And then let me look at the network tab again. Probably will still do it twice, I think. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, we definitely have to figure out why it is calling it twice. Maybe it could be because of the ID. It's my guess, because it should not happen twice. Okay, so it's still fetching twice. Conversation channel page. Interesting. Update type. I failed to understand why this hook would call twice. Or yeah, I failed to understand why the callback of this hook would occur twice. Fetch messages thunk. That's completely fine. Yeah, I think the problem here is this component. Yeah, so I think maybe if I look over here, something is causing this component to re-render again. Or not re-render, but it's likely a re-render is happening. And it could be happening because something here is changing, I think. But I don't know, it's weird. I probably, you know, like if I look over here, right? It makes sense that I probably would only want this hook to run when the route ID changes. Or maybe I just want it to run once. But I think because this component is rendered twice, or yeah, it's being re-rendered, I guess. Probably likely due to some things being updated. We can double check though by looking at the Redux store and seeing what kind of causes this. Is it this fetch friends request for phone? Messages pending. Okay, yeah, so it calls twice and then it fulfills at different times. That's definitely a problem. It's making 2 API calls instead of 1. And we're not in strict mode. I disabled that a while ago. Pretty sure. Yeah, I disabled that a while ago, so we're not in strict mode. For those who just messaged me on my Twitch, yeah, my apologies. I didn't see my Twitch chat, but TG Khalil, how are you? I think maybe you might still be there, but I hope you're doing well, my friend. Mr. Lulu51, I don't know if you're still there on Twitch, but I hope you're doing well as well. Storm Plays 7, I hope you're also doing well, if you're still there, that is. No worries if you're not, though. Sorry, I sometimes forget to take a look at my Twitch chat because I only have my YouTube chat. Sometimes I forget that I'm even streaming on Twitch, but you know, I gotta do better with that. Pagination. Yeah, I don't know why this is being called twice. That's definitely not good. 100% not good being fetched twice. But I don't know what the issue could possibly be. That's weird. Fetch messages stunk. Exotics, how are you? Welcome to the stream. How's it going over there? Damn, I really cannot figure out this issue. There's two problems. One, the re-render is definitely going to be a problem down the long run. And pagination, man, it's throwing me off a little bit. Maybe I just need a break, I don't know. Too much coding. Or maybe, you know, I just need to take a look at something else real quick. Well, I'm really curious what could cause this re-render to happen though, but you know. Why are you doing it with pagination rest instead of Kafka pub sub? Well, how does Kafka and pub sub solve this issue? And I don't really think you would need Kafka and pub sub just to implement simple pagination. If you ask me, I don't really think those two really go hand in hand. Kafka is meant for data streaming. If you have lots of different events that are happening, if you have lots of data that is being, you know, sent from, like, you know, server to server, microservice to microservice, Kafka would be good for that, but I don't really think it has anything to do with pagination though. Let's see. Yeah, that re-render is definitely screwing me up a little bit. Or the double, I mean, the double AB call isn't, yeah, it is actually a pretty big deal, because in conversation channel page, it is going to dispatch the action twice, which is, I don't want that 100%. Yeah, so number 26, line 26 over here. Fetch message stunk, then it fetches the conversations. I don't know what could be the possibility. I think maybe something in app page. It could be something in app page that is causing everything to re-render again. But I guess, you know, something in app page could be causing all of these values to change. Take chai break. Yeah, I wish I had some tea. Let me see. Could it be this dispatch? I have no idea, honestly. Well, let's remove this and let's see if that causes any issues. Still same thing, so this definitely is not the issue at all. Well, let's see. Fetch messages stunk happens in conversation channel page. Right over here. So maybe we'll take a look at conversation page and see if that has any effect. Yo, Usama, how are you? Can someone use the keyboards command for TFP gaming? Ibrahim, welcome back. Yo, Ahmed, how are you? Welcome. Nice to see familiar faces again. Yeah, I think something has to do with conversation page that's causing this to fetch twice. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. Could be conversation thunk maybe? I have no idea. Still fetches twice. Interesting. So I wonder what could be causing these to fetch twice. Is what I'd love to know myself. Fetch messages stunk. Fetch messages stunk. No, strict mode is disabled. Yeah, strict mode is disabled. I disabled it a while ago. Yeah, I'm not sure what could be causing this to run twice. I removed the ID earlier. It's still running twice right over here and here. I think this project has definitely helped me understand use effect hook a lot more better than before. Definitely one thing to take away from it. Fetch messages stunk. Fulfilled. Fulfilled. Pending fulfilled. Very airy. How are you? Welcome to the Twitch stream. Fulfilled. Pending. Okay, so I am a little bit confused why this is always their messages fetch pending. Let me look at the parameters real quick for this. Okay, so in this one, this fetches it for okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can see it's always going to fetch twice. If I look over here, reset message container, pending. So it fulfills and then it fetches again. You see right over here? So strange. Are you navigating to the same page when you refresh the page? Yeah, I believe so. What inspector is that? It's Redux DevTools. Well, I mean, you can see that I can go ahead and click this and it will fetch twice. Something's causing the second. I don't know what it is though, right? I mean, I guess like is it because the route is this because the path name changes twice? That's what I am assuming. That's my assumption. Path name changes twice, maybe. Could be a possibility. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, so component is getting rendered 4 times. Strange. 2, 2, 2. So 2, false, false, fetch message song. Okay. Component's getting rendered twice, I guess. Well, I mean, params never changes. It's gonna be 2. Homeboy got 3 keyboards for different mood and things. Yep. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. 2, 2, 2. And it's being logged right over here. So 3 renders, I guess. What did cause it though? I mean, all these sockets are being removed correctly. Use join user leave on typing start to be stopped update. That's fine. This will re-render based on the ID changing. That's fine. This should only run if the ID changes. The problem is the ID never changes though, so why would the use effect hook rerun? Confuses me so much. ID never changes, so. And this itself does not change the ID. Maybe it redirects 2 times to the same route. I don't know. It should not, right? Because when you click on the conversation sidebar item, it just on click. Well, not here, right here. Conversation sidebar item, and then you have group sidebar item, right? You look over here. When you click on it, it just calls navigate and then conversation ID, right? So that will change the route from 2 to 1. 1, 1, 1. So something else is definitely changing though, but I don't know what it is. Got no idea. So toggle context menu. Okay, that's changed. But why would reset message container have anything to do with that? Let's find out. Let's see. None of this has to do with fetch message dunk, so. Okay, so apparently that causes this to go into a pending state. Could be the guard. Highly doubt it. Because these two, I mean, I don't know, could be authenticated route as well as this. I can remove both of them and see what happens. Willing to try. Yeah, well, I remove that. I will not be able to. Well, let me remove just this. Let's see what happens. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Let's look at this. Use conversation guard. Let's see what's going on with this. So this fetches the conversation, And then what happens is sets loading to true. Controller board. Do you have an event call somewhere? No. Oh. Interesting. Seems like okay, so why would fetching conversation happen after fetch message is dunked? Makes no sense. Right? Because well, route path elements, this is supposed to guard this, right? Which over here uses the auth hook. The hooks are the same exact thing. Use conversation guard. Same exact thing as this right over here. Well, I mean, with this, the ID changes, I guess. But do I want to put that though? Okay, so now it only fetches it once. The guard is still there. But now the question is, does it fetch with the new ID though? That's my only concern. Because you need to make sure that, let's see, there should be an API call somewhere that ensures that it checks. Yep, right over here, number 2. Yeah. Okay. But you see how it does not call the API again? So check to see, because let's say, for example, well, so if I try to access number 3, should it redirect me? Okay, it does. It's good. I wonder how that works with groups though. Do I have a different guard for group? I think I added, yeah, I think I added a different guard for group. Well, I mean, I guess with conversations, I don't know, interesting. So I guess I don't need the ID for this. That's very interesting. So if I click on another fetching conversation 1, yeah, that's not good. Fetching conversation. Let me refresh real quick. 2. Yeah, I guess with this guard, it only really checks. I think it only checks maybe once. We can try again and see. Fetching conversation 2, fetching conversation 1. Okay. Which I guess is fine, but I mean, I don't really know if we need to really do this with conversations though. Groups definitely make sense. I don't know what we want to do with conversations though. Because, you know, if the conversation's there, you should be able to just see it. Unless you archive it, of course, which is a different story. But, fetch messages don't always happens first. You know, I don't really know if I really need to worry about the ID. Because no matter what, if I try to go number 6, that will just throw an error because we don't have access to that. And it'll redirect us, which is fine. But if, of course, if the ID changes, that doesn't really matter too much because we can already see that the conversation belongs to us. This check was really just to make sure that they can't just enter a random ID and, you know, just guess conversations and be able to see that whole thing. So I think we just probably remove that, and that should fix the call. But we don't want to remove the guard though. But I'm interested to find out why having the ID here would cause the guard to render twice. I guess, I don't know. That is quite interesting. But this itself probably causes the entire component to re-render. Oh. Yeah, it was the dependency array over here that was causing the re-render. Or maybe not re-render, but multiple fetching. We're fetching it twice. Because now it does not fetch twice. See, that only fetches once. Right over here. Which is good. Okay, well, in the initial fetch, it'll still do it twice, but if I click here, okay, so in the first API call, it will still fetch twice, which is, again, I don't understand that much of why that would be the case. First API call. Let's find out. Pending. Okay. So removing that guard actually gets rid of a lot of stuff. Yeah, so the guard seems to be the main problem right over here. You can see that right over here. That guard causes a bunch of more actions to happen. It even causes friends requests fetch fulfill to happen. Yeah, why would that be the case though? Shouldn't really have any effect on that though. How? Like, that's the confusing part. How would this hook have any effect on the other stuff? Because if I remove that guard, the entire issue goes away. You can see pending, update type, fetched conversation, fine. Fetched friend request, fine. Set peer, fulfilled. That's perfectly fine. Pending. Fulfilled. Perfect. But now only problem is that if I try to access any other random conversation, it'll work. So adding that is not good. It's not the navigation component. It's probably the hook. Likely the hook. Verify that by probably just removing all this. Yeah, it's the actual hook itself. It's the actual hook itself that is causing the issue, not the actual component, it's the hook. Set loading true. Get conversation by ID. Huh. Get conversation by ID. Maybe I probably should not use the API call, but maybe I should use a thunk. As well. Let's think about it like this, right? Well, I mean, if there's an error, well, let me see. If loading conversation, if there is an error, then you'll navigate the user back to conversations, perfectly fine. When you navigate the user back to conversations, which, you know, shouldn't really be an issue, right? Because nothing really happens when you navigate them back to this page. All that happens is you just update the type and you fetch the conversations. That's really all that happens, which is totally okay. But then conversation channel page is then rendered. But that's only if you change the route, though. Yeah, that's only if you click on the conversation to change the route, which will change the ID, which is what will cause the fetch message thunk to happen. Maybe it could be the if loading since when it gets set from true to false, it renders back. Yeah, that's a definite possibility. Because I think my guess is, like, you know, loading is currently false, so, and error is undefined, so it'll just render children. Then loading is set to true. You know, maybe I could just do this, because this is what I did with the use auth. I set loading to true, so maybe I could just do this. Maybe I just always leave loading to true by default. Remove this, and then only set loading to false, like that. And maybe that could work. We'll find out right now. Let's see. Okay. Let's click here. Let's refresh. Fetch message thunks. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Because if it's false, it's gonna... False error is undefined, of course. So it's gonna try to render children. Right? Now, obviously, it's gonna fetch the data, which is going to set loading to true, which will then render this. And then once it goes from, you know, true to false, it'll render children back. There's an error, there's that. Yeah, I guess that underlying reason why it was possibly rendering twice. And of course, if I try to go to here, it'll just redirect us back, which is fine. Click here. Now let me put this ID back here. Okay, still one render, good. Cool. Awesome. Fetching conversation 2. 2, 1, 2, 1. Cool. Alright, yeah, so I'm glad that we were able to all fix that together. Yeah, it's good to know about that. True. Yeah, I guess leaving it as true would be the best way to do it. How many people at max could join the group video call without any serious lags? Well, I mean, I think if it's a peer-to-peer, it probably just depends on the user's connection. Hey, long time see you. What's up, Eden? How are you, man? Yeah, it's been a while. I was in Washington for past couple of days, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm back in Arizona now. But man, I'm not gonna be traveling anytime soon. I just got so much shit that I gotta take care of next couple months, so. And I definitely don't like it whenever I'm in, like, the mood of working on something and then it just stops and then I just have to find, like, you know, the passion back in. I really hate that feeling so much. It's the worst feeling ever. It's like when you have momentum going and it just stops and you gotta find it again. I absolutely hate that feeling a lot. Okay, so we fixed this, which is good. Okay, now what? Now what? Well, first, let's see. Yeah, well, I mean, the trip that I had planned was planned way before I even was gonna even stream, or way before I even started streaming last month in August. So I never would have predicted all this stuff to happen, but it's all good though. Yo, Displan, what's going on, man? How are you? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so now that we have fixed that issue with the double render, that means we can probably update the state as soon as we fetch the messages. I think we should be able to do that. So we can go over here, fetch message dunk. As soon as we fetch and call .then, dispatch update pagination offset, and we want to make sure we pass in. Well, you know, in the beginning, it's going to expect this number. Well, we know that this number is going to be 0 because, you know, this is when the page first loads, right? So we know that there aren't going to be any messages exchanged or received. Okay? So we can definitely leave it like this. So let's refresh and let's see what happens. Okay, and if I go over here, I look at tree chart states. Okay, so counter is 50. That's exactly what we want. And so the offset should be updated as well. Oh, 0 plus state counter. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we'll do action.payload plus 50. And then state counter plus equals 50. Yep. It's fine. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. Offset 50. Offset is always going to change based on the messages exchanged plus the counter. So it's always gonna be plus 50. What chair are you using that you don't feel back pain? You've been streaming for a long time. I just use the DX Racer. I've been using that chair for a very long time. Like maybe I've had a DX Racer since 2018, so 4 years now. But this one's a different one though. Like I got this, the one that I have back in my home in New York. That one was for, you know, my home in New York. Obviously, I wasn't gonna bring that across the entire country, but I bought this one last year, and it's really nice. I like it a lot. I don't have any complaints with the DX Racer. A lot of people don't like it though, but you know, everyone's different, of course. All right, so now this will set up the pagination values for the next API call. So when we scroll up, we'll need to call the API again with offset. Okay, 50. And then we need to update the counter, of course. So we'll literally just do the same thing again. State the offset equals action.payload plus 50. Okay, now this action.payload, we're always going to take in the number of messages sent, the number of messages exchanged, okay? And that value could always change no matter what, okay? Based off of the messages that are sent to the user or the ones that are received from the other user. The reason why we need to do that is because, well, if you don't do that, the database will have the new messages, and the front end will not be able to keep up with what the backend data is. It's basically like the backend will have all the new messages saved in the database, right? And when you query again, you're gonna be using an offset where it'll contain the last X amount of messages from the previous API call, and that will cause you to have duplicate entries in the DOM. It's gonna throw an error, which is not good. So what we'll do is this action. Okay, so now let's go over to that component message container right over here. So when we scroll to the top, we want to basically paginate the next 50 messages. So all we'll do is we'll just literally fetch messages again. So I think we created that thunk earlier. So let's go over to store. So we created paginate messages thunk right over here. And then right over here, we can just pass in the same arguments that we would pass in for the params. So let's check that out real quick. We need the ID and the offset. Totally fine. We know how to get the ID. We have that ID over there. Perfectly fine. So ID will be course and ID. Offset will basically be the value that is retrieved from the state, which we can very easily grab using the selector. So we'll do that. Okay, so once we do that, when we call this thunk on fulfillment, let's see. Or is message slice right over here? Yep, paginate message. Okay, yeah. So on fulfillment, this will happen right over here. It's going to console log paginate messages unfulfilled. It's going to go ahead and add those new fetched messages to the array, which it should. And then we should probably update the offset as well. So we can very easily do that. We'll just literally do this. Well, after we fetch this, we will dispatch. And we'll pass in 0 because what we're handling the first case where we're assuming that we're only ever going to scroll. We're not going to send messages. We're not going to receive messages. We're only just scrolling. That's the only thing that we are doing right now, scrolling. Okay. So we need to verify that the scroll works, and then we can work on the other stuff. So if I scroll up, now you can see right over here, it says encounter 2 children with the same key 142. Yeah. So I think what happens is it likely fetched the data 2 times. I think. We'll have to find out. So okay, seems like that worked. Okay, so now it did it again right over here. Let's find out what happened. Okay, so we paginated. So this gave us 142 to 191. I guess that's 50. Updated this right over here. Offset 50, counter 100. Okay, yeah, I see the problem here. Offset was never updated. Yeah, that's the problem over here. Yep. Okay. Oh, let's see. Well, I mean, in the beginning, offset should be always state.counter. I mean, I did have this as state.counter before. Okay. The first time it's going to be 0. That's fine. The second time, state.counter will be 50. That's fine. So I don't know why I removed that. It's silly of me to do. Okay, it's a little bit wonky, but let's try it again. Let's just scroll maybe once. Okay, let's kind of just see what's going on with the state. So, okay, so fulfilled. Right over here, pending fulfilled. Okay, fulfilled. Update pagination, good. Offset 0. No, wait. Okay, yeah, no, this is not correct. This is not correct. Maybe we should probably do state.counter, and then can I just do that? Maybe that will work. Let's try. Don't know if that's synchronous though. It seems like this is not throwing an error now, which I guess is good news. Okay. I guess we can just update it in different order. So you can see over here, pending, fulfilled. Once it's fulfilled, we update offset 50, count 50. Paginate. Update the offset 100, 100. Okay. Now keep in mind that offset and counter are not always going to be the same. Remember, offset can also be affected by the number of messages that are sent and received. Okay. The counter is just going to keep track of the increment, right? So essentially what we're doing is we're basically taking the counter, we're adding it by 50. Right, so that's going to be whatever, like 50, 100, 150, right? And then we need to take that offset, we need to add it with the messages exchanged, so that way we ensure that we are getting the correct offset that considers the new messages that are sent, right? Because if you think about it, you know, like if you think of it like this, right? Let's say, for example, database has 10 messages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's say you want to fetch 5 messages at a time, right? Fetch 5 messages at a time. And so now, let's say, for example, you know, in the beginning you'll fetch 5, so the offset will be 0. Limit will be 5, of course. Limit will always be 5 no matter what. The counter will be... Let's watch this. So offset will be 0 in the beginning always, no matter what, for the first one, right? And now let's say, for example, after you fetch those first 5 messages, you don't see 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? But let's say the user sends 2 more messages, so let's say 11, 12, right over here. Or, you know what, let me put this in reverse order. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's say the user sends message 11 and 12. These 2 messages, right? Well, here's the thing though, right? Well, the offset is already set to 5 to fetch these next messages, right? But in reality, the next messages that you're going to get is going to be 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, right? Hopefully that makes sense on why we need to consider those new messages that are being sent. So you see the problem here, right? Let's say we have 10 messages, right? We fetch 5 at a time. So there's 2 pages total. This is page 1, right? And you can think of the page as just like the first batch of messages is what you can call it. It helps you understand it better, right? So we fetch 5 at a time. In the beginning, offset will be 0, right? The second fetch, offset will be 5. This is if okay. Now this is scenario A. Scenario B. Let me just see. User exchange. So let's say the first fetch, you're always going to get the first X amount of messages, 50, 100, 200. That's whatever number you want to set, whatever you want to retrieve from the database, right? First fetch offset will be 0. Get 5 messages, right? That'll be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Now, let's say after the first fetch, we send 2 messages to the user, right? So we send new messages. 11, 12. Could be 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, right? But no matter how many that number is, we must we must account for that. So we basically take that number and we let offset equals 2 plus the current counter, which the current counter is set to 5, or should be. So the new offset is 7. Okay, and it makes perfect sense, right? Because, well, these two messages, the new messages that are being sent and received, are always going to be updated in the store in real time. So you're never going to need to fetch them via HTTP. They're always going to be there in the Redux store, unless if you refresh the page. But then when you refresh the page, those new messages that you sent would be included in that batch of 50 messages that you initially fetch. So when you send or receive those new messages, you must take that amount, add that to the current offset, or the current counter, which is 5, and that'll give you your new offset, which is going to be 7, right? And that makes perfect sense, because think of it like this, right? If your offset was 10, well, that will give you... Remember, these two messages are already saved on the database already. That's the thing that you have to remember. These two messages are already saved in the MySQL database, okay? So if you were to let the offset be 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you would start retrieving messages from number 7 all the way up until number 3, right? Well, the problem here is that you already retrieved 7 and 6, and you'll end up with duplicate keys in the DOM, duplicate messages basically. So that is why you need to take the new messages, add it to the counter, whatever that value is, right? And then that is going to be your new offset. So when we take 5 plus 2, 7, we're going to start retrieving messages from 5 all the way up until 1, and that'll give us the next correct amount of messages. Hopefully that makes sense, though. I know it can be a little bit confusing, but I figured I would explain it because, you know, it was a little bit tricky for myself to understand too, but that's one way they can do it. Boozion, how are you, man? Welcome back to the stream. Sorry I did not see your message. Just explaining something to chat. And I hope you're doing well, my friend. But you can see that the pagination is in fact working pretty well, right? You can see that if I scroll up, it's going to fetch the messages, right? Works like a charm. Of course, if I keep trying to go up, there's no more messages to be fetched. So even if we try to fetch more, nothing's ever going to happen. Okay? Nothing's ever going to happen because it's just adding an empty array. But of course, we have a flag called can next page. Currently, it's set to true. What we'll do is if when we dispatch, right, we'll basically need to check to see if the result.length, which is basically the amount of messages that was fetched from the API, if it is less than 50. If it is, that means we're at the last page, so that means we should not make any API calls anymore. Because if we keep making API calls, you know, it's just gonna give us an empty array all the time. Doesn't make any sense. And we also don't want to keep adding, you know, to the pagination. But yeah, you know, I think the pagination works pretty well, honestly. Of course, nothing's gonna happen when I scroll down, as normal. But here's the thing, though, right? If I click here and if I click here, the pagination is gonna get a little bit screwed up because the values do not reset. So we need to make it so that when the user, you know, leaves the page, we will reset the store. I guess that's one thing that we could do. So on component, on mount, reset message container. You could also reset the pagination as well. So reset message container, I'm not really too sure what this does. Yeah, it resets this. Yeah, I guess we could also reset the pagination as well. State. So we'll do state. I wonder if I could just do this. Return initial state. I guess that works. I could just do also this. I guess. So that will reset everything to 0, 0, which is exactly what we want. Okay. And yeah, this is always going to change based on the ID. So we can dispatch pagination. I should probably call this clear pagination. I'll call it clear pagination. Alright, so let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. Okay, so let's scroll, paginate, 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 paginate. Now, the messages are still going to be in the Redux store, I believe, I think. Actually, no, they won't, because when I click here and I go back here, it's going to refetch those first 50 messages, right? And now if it seems like it did not check the Redux store. Let's refresh again. Okay, so the current state 300, 300. If I click here, oh wait, you know what the problem here is? Okay, yeah, I think I know what the problem here is. Reset message container, clear pagination. Maybe I can't do this. I've done something like this before somewhere. Oh yeah, dot state. Yeah. Just do that, I guess. See if this works. Let's refresh. Okay. There we go, that refreshes. Okay, yeah, so of course, probably we'll want to make it so that later on what we'll do is we'll make it so that it'll persist the pagination for each conversation, I guess. But like I said, you know, that can have lots of issues. And I don't even think Facebook itself does that, you know. I'm not saying that we have to copy Facebook, you know, but there's certain reasons why you probably do not want to save every single message to the store. For obvious reasons, of course. Why do you have 3 keyboards? Because I just want to. Yeah, like, you know, I'm looking at Facebook right now. Now, when I do click on a different conversation, now the thing is though, it does, I think what Facebook does is it caches the messages and then you can fetch it again really fast. So, you know, that is something that we could do, right? We could cache those messages somewhere and then, you know, we could cache it somewhere. I don't know where we'll cache, maybe Redux or Redis. We'll worry about that later though. Okay. But now here's another problem. Encounter 2 children with the same key. Yeah. What is the problem here? Why is it complaining about this? What could be the issue here? $242. You know what I think it is? Yeah, so I think the problem here is that right over here. Let me refresh. Okay, yeah. It fetched these messages twice, which I don't know why it did that. But let's go up here. Let's click here. Let's click here. Yeah, it fetched those twice, which should not be happening. When it fetches those messages, why would it fetch it? Why would it? Wait, let me look at the Redux store again. Oh, you know what it is, I think? Well, when we fetch, if there's only 6 messages, right? I mean, yeah, if there's only 6 messages. Yeah, we got some work to do with this. Let me see if I can replicate this again. Okay, so let me try this. Scroll and click here. Okay, yeah, let's see what's going on here. Okay. So we clear pagination. We fetch. Oh, interesting. So it seems like it fetches the messages and then it calls paginate again. Why would it do that though? You know what I think? Maybe you know what it is. Maybe what happens is when we paginate, we click on the other. Maybe yeah. I think I might know what's happening. I think I think might be happening is I am scrolling and I'm clicking on a different conversation way too quick, and it fetches that conversation again. Like it basically paginates that other conversation, which is not good. We should probably have a field that says current pagination, but that's not, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what's happening, is that it's paginating it way too fast, because I'm sure that if I look over here, it's for ID number 2, right? Paginate. So okay, I guess, what if I did this? Like, what if I just paginated this, right? And then I clicked here. Okay, it still does it. Okay, so that's a different story. So let's go here. Scroll all the way up here. All the API calls are done, right? All the API calls are done. We are at 300 now. If I click here, yeah, so fetches it and then it toggles the pagination. Okay, yeah, that is not good. Damn, there's always going to be some issue that wants to just come up. I have no idea what's going on, man. We're only dispatching that paginate action when we scroll, but we never scroll when we click on the other conversation. So I'm really confused why that would even happen, though. Uza, how are you? Welcome to the stream, man. How are you doing? Good morning. Happy to see you again. Yeah, man, I'm happy to see you again too, my friend. I hope you have been well. And I hope you've been doing good. Okay, yeah, I don't know why it's calling this twice. Like why? Conversations, forms. Paginate, unfulfilled, okay. If exists, push those messages. Okay. I think that's totally fine. I don't know. It's so weird, man. I have no idea what's going on. Paginate message unfulfilled. Yeah, well, this is only ever dispatched when we are scrolling. Oh, you know what I think it? You know what I think it is? Well, I mean, the message container is all over here. But I don't know. It's so weird. All right, we'll try this. Let me refresh again. Okay. Let me scroll it to the top. Let me clear the console. Let me click here. And let's scroll to the top and see what's going on. Yeah. So when I click on here, it says scroll to top. Yeah, that's a problem. Ah, man, pagination can be so annoying sometimes. Honestly, I think the scrolling thing is just so frustrating, but it's a nice UI though, because you don't want to do it any other way aside from scrolling, because you know, like, scrolling is like the meta nowadays, you know. But now it's complaining that I have scrolled to the top when I clicked here, which I guess it does make sense because, you know, technically we did reach the top. But, well, I mean, not the top, but like, you know, because originally, like, the div itself is, like, I guess of height 0, so it is technically the top. And then obviously it expands, so that's why it ends up paginating this, which is not what we want to do. So... yeah, I don't know. Pagination is not so simple when it comes to chat messages, I guess. Yo, bro, how are you, man? Bro, tell me about game development. I don't know anything about game development, so I can't really advise you on that. Damn, we spent the past hours working on this crap with pagination. I mean, look, we got it working pretty well, but of course, there's always some misfortunes that come across, and we gotta worry about those now. It's just giving me a headache. Why are you using WebRTC? Because we're using WebRTC for video and audio calls. So for those who are new to the stream, I'll show you a quick demo. Why not, right? Why not? Though camera probably won't work because I am using my camera. You know, I will disable my camera right now. I'll disable it temporarily, don't worry. Let me log in to Jane, the account Jane. Okay. So, 1, 2. So let's go over here. Let's give Jane a call. So you can see my videos right over here, as you can see. I don't know what's going on with my browser over here. It's like just the browser, honestly. It should be asking me for permission to use my... There we go. All right, now it should work. So you can see that we have the video call feature. I can mute myself. So you can see the video. We have the local and the remote stream. So that's the reason why we're using WebRTC. Probably not a good idea to use WebSockets. I don't even know if it's a good idea. I don't even know if it's possible to even use WebSockets for a video chat. I'm pretty sure it is possible, but you probably wouldn't want to do that though. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, this is like some old stuff though. We were working on this like 2 weeks ago. We have moved past that, and it is now considered an old feature. But right now we're trying to work on some other stuff, but we're not having much luck today. But it's okay. Let me change the music though. But the music's kind of trash. No offense to those who like this one. I've never been better, thanks, man. That's good to hear, man. I am glad to hear that, my friend. But yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. You know, if you're new here, welcome. If you are a very recurring user, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, don't think I'll do this. The pagination is really something that I really want to do, but we're having so much issues with it. So I don't know what we could possibly do. I mean, you know, I think the problem is this, right? I mean, I don't know, like the height of the container should be 100, right? Like, I don't know. Let me do I have another? Let me see if I can create another account and see something real quick. So let's go over here. Let's create an account. Friend request. Okay. Now, let me try something real quick. Let me go ahead and send a message to John. Now, if I open the logs, does it say scroll to top? It doesn't, right? Like, if I click here, it doesn't say scroll to top. So why is it when I do this, right, and I go here, or if I go here, wait, that's so weird. Wait, hold on, wait. Wait, hold on. That's very weird. Wait. Scroll to the top. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. If I click here, though, it says scroll to the top. Clear this. Okay, there's no issues with that. But now if I click on this again, I'm not sure what's going on with this. Did it say scroll to top again? We 100% need to fix this issue though, because this is not a good issue to have. Bro, when are you planning to switch net project? What do you mean? Music gives the feeling that I'm listening to a radio. Your voice fits very good for that. You think so? I don't even know how I sound like, to be honest with you. So if I sound like crap, you know, you guys are more than welcome to let me know. Because I don't want to like play the audio in the background, because then it'll disrupt the music. Okay, yeah, we do need to fix this, so let me clear this. Yeah, why would it say scroll to top? My only guess is that the height changes. That's my only guess. I can't think of any other reason why it would say scroll to top. You know, I can't think of any reason why it would say scroll to top. That is what's tripping us up with the pagination, though. Man, I am starting to hate this project little by little, because we have done so much, but it just feels like I have not done enough. You know, I'm a little bit pissed that I cannot get this pagination to work. But yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, I don't know, man. I think we are going close. Let me take a look at something real quick. Love your stream. Always enjoy when joining in. That's good, man. I'm glad you guys are liking it. You sound amazing, bro. Don't worry. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Don't give a man. You're doing great. Try my best. Try my best. Yeah, the pagination. I would say the pagination and the emojis were definitely two of the hardest features, in my opinion, for this little chat app. Definitely two of the most brutal features ever. Well, the emoji wasn't really that difficult. It was only because we used a library that was, you know, that we had issues with. But it wasn't, the library wasn't bad though. It was just something was wrong with that. It just didn't fit our needs. So I'd say pagination and emojis are definitely the two major things that we're having lots of issues with. But yeah, so I look at this. Oh wait, did I close the app by accident? Where is it? I think I may have closed the app by accident. Let's open it back up again. Yeah, I don't know. all the way up here. It likely has to be something with the height of this container. Like, it likely has to be. Like, let me see. Well, let me, first of all, before I move on from this, let me just find out real quick. Message container style. Yeah, so message container style should be this one. Height of 100%, padding 10. Yeah, 100% should be this. There's no way it's going to be this, though. It's going to be this this component right here. Display flex, scroll bar. So why would it say... Yeah, I don't know. The height is 100%. My guess is that when I click on... Yeah, my guess is that when I click on this conversation, it loads so fast. I guess it loads... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just loads too fast. So I think what I could... I don't know. I'm going to try something real quick. I'm going to try something real quick. Let me see. Let me see if I could slow the response. Let me see. Are you doing code? This is hella boring, dog. Well, I mean, clearly you were bored enough to click on the stream to come and say that. But you're more than welcome to close the stream, though. If you don't want to watch, that's totally fine with me. And nothing of value will be lost. To get your rate limit configurations. TTL. So I can't slow the request. Interesting. I wonder if NestJS has a way to slow the request. NestJS delay response. Maybe a queue, but I don't know. I was thinking about, you know, maybe what I could do is inside Conversation Page Guard, I could go over here. And I could probably just set timeout. Let's try 3 seconds. Alright, so that's 3 seconds. So let me try something real quick. So let me scroll all the way up to the top. Let me click here. Okay, that doesn't do anything. Yeah, so this is only for when you visit the actual page, but what about when you... Let's see. Set loading false 3000. Finally, set timeout, set loading. You should sleep, bro. Nah, I'm good, man. Why should I sleep? I'm having fun doing what I want to do. Yo, what's up, Chat MX? How are you? I sound tired? No. If I was tired, I probably wouldn't be streaming. I can promise you that. I can promise you that, my friend. Yeah, I don't know, this pagination thing is kind of bothering me a little bit. But it's all good though. Should be a solution that we can figure out. What day are we on? Probably like, I don't even know, honestly, probably day 30. I mean, this is, I'm not even counting days anymore. I'm mostly counting weeks. This is week number 5, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we're pretty close to ending this app and we're gonna move on to some other, I'm just gonna move on to another project. I think, honestly, you know, I think we've came a long way. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie though, I am kind of getting bored of this project. Surprisingly. But you know, yeah, we pretty much did all of the basic things that we need to do. We added a lot more additional features that we never even thought that we would. But yeah, you know, I think it's decent enough. I don't really think I'll continue much with it. Let's see. Pagination thing though is something that I definitely want to at least try to figure out what is going on. Let me just ban this guy real quick. All right, there we go. Bro, can you help me? My bot can't start. Use the Discord server.
That's not my business. That's not my business.
When did you last stream? I don't even know, honestly. September 21st, I think. That was that was a Wednesday. That was before I went on my trip. And I just came back, literally came back like less than 24 hours ago. Doesn't even feel like it, honestly. Feels like I've been here the entire time. But yeah, I don't know. I think I think I'm going to probably move on to a new project. I have no interest in continuing the chat application right now. I think it'll be fine. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm gonna abandon it, but I think what I'll do is I will why did Figma just restart? I think what I'll do is I'll take a break from the chat app and I'll work on something new. And I'm sure, you know, there'll be a solution that will come across my head at some point that'll force me to come back to the application itself. But, you know, sometimes, you know, people ask me, oh yeah, how do you avoid getting burned out and such? And I just say, oh yeah, you know, you just got to mix it up a little bit. And we've been working on this project for about a month now. About pretty much a month, maybe a little bit more than a month. So, you know, yeah, I think I'd say that we did pretty well for the past 5 weeks. Murat, how are you, man? Welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you know, overall, I like the overall outcome of the app, though. We did do a lot of good stuff, but you know, I'll definitely say that I'm not fully satisfied, though, for only 2 reasons, but it's okay. So yeah, I guess we'll just work on the next application that I promised you all. And, you know, I do try my best to keep my promises when it comes to these things. So, yeah, we'll work on the next application. Probably starting today or tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, we still have a lot of time. It's only 3:49 a.m. right now, so I don't think I'll be getting off anytime soon. Brain freeze? Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, you know, just taking a little bit of break from the same thing. It's like, you know, it's like that feeling, like, when you're staring at the same thing over and over again. It kind of gets a little bit boring sometimes, you know. But it's all good, though. Let me just try to find some good music to play for you all. Should I make a new stream, or should I just end the stream right over here and then just continue? I don't even know. Should I make a new stream? What do you guys think? End the stream and start over, and then rename the title. Money transfer app is the next one that we'll make. Money transfer app. Let's see. Then I nap and then come back. LOL. Yeah, sadly today is a Monday though, which means that most people are in school or they are working, so most people aren't going to be available on Mondays to watch, which is very unfortunate, but it's okay. All right. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, so for this money transfer app, we'll definitely do NestJS. In terms of backend, you know, I really don't want to use Express, to be honest with you, and I'm probably not going to use Express, even though lots of people did in fact really wanted Express. You know, I'm just going to go against the odds and say, you know, I'm just going to use NestJS. I will use Next though, you know, I will use Next because, you know, it is definitely a very good tool, and, you know, I personally would like to get better with Next as well. But personally, if it were up to me though, I personally would choose client-side rendering over server-side rendering for Next. But a lot of people want to see Next, so you know what? Yeah, sure, why not? It'll be a good learning experience. Why don't I just change the stream title, honestly? How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours and 30 minutes? I'm just gonna... Let me just change the title real quick. Would you tell us pros and cons of Express and NestJS? Well, I've pretty much said it over and over again, but I'll say it again. Express is a great framework, but it's just not as good as NestJS, because NestJS just offers so many great things out of the box. They have lots of great support. It's well maintained by a lot of the contributors. It's got great documentation, something that Express.js lacks. It's got lots of great examples. It's very easy to set up in NestJS project, and it is opinionated, which can have its advantages, which I personally like a lot. So I would choose Nest because it is really great for large projects, and you can really rely on the, you know, on the opinionated environment to force you to, you know, stick with certain principles when it comes to programming. But yeah, like, you know, I guess you guys will be able to see how I'm going to design this app. Guess I would really like to make this a mobile app though, but it's okay. Let's see. I'm just gonna, you know, usually people ask me how do I design stuff. Well, you guys get to see it today. You guys get to see the behind the scenes. Never seen before. First time ever. Never seen before. Yeah, I don't really have too much of an idea of how I want to structure this out. But at least what I'll do is I will at least create a simple design that works. And then, because the most important thing about this whole thing is the Stripe API and understanding how the Stripe API actually works. There's nothing else that's more important than understanding that. And when you do, it's going to be amazing. And I am very excited. Oh, shoot. This is way too big. Whoa. Are you going to use Tailwind? Got no idea, honestly. Why is this giving me issues? Come on, Figma. Okay, let me do this. Let me just Control 0 and then get the frame right over here. Let's move that over here. It's called Figma. It's called Figma. National Rebel, thank you so much for following my Twitch. I appreciate that. I'm gonna do the design in this stream, and then I'm not gonna bore you guys in the other stream with design, so I might as well just do it here when there's not that many people watching. And so that way, you know, when we go to the new stream with a new title and everything, everyone will have something that is presentable, so everyone can feel more excited for it. So build it out in the stream, and then I will take a break, and then I'll probably stream again tomorrow. Well, today's Monday, yeah. I don't know what kind of UI I want, to be honest with you. So what I'll do is I'll go over to my favorite website, Dribbble.com, and I'll look for some inspiration. Yeah, so a lot of people always ask me, you know, what do you do when you are bad at design or when you don't really know what to build out? Just look at Dribbble.com. Find something simple. Like, doesn't have to be crazy, just something simple. Like, for example, I like this a lot, to be honest with you. I really like this dashboard a lot. Welcome dashboard. So this could show you all of your analytics, like how much money you're receiving, how much money you're sending. We could probably do something like this where you can show your cards. I think that'd be pretty cool in my opinion. Honestly, this dashboard actually looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It looks really nice. We could have a sidebar over here. This could just all be Flexbox, I guess. You could also use Grid as well. Junaid, how are you, man? Was in the meeting. What's the new app going to be? Money transfer app. Welcome back, missed you a lot. Yeah, man, I'm back and I'm here to stay. Haha, I suck at design for sure. Yeah, I'm not the best. I like this design though a lot, to be honest with you. It looks really, really nice. And again, like I said, you don't have to build exactly the way it looks like. But just look through, brainstorm, use it to brainstorm. You know, can't go wrong with it, right? Can't go wrong with it at all. Can't go wrong with it. I feel like though, when it comes to money transfer apps, it's really hard to design it for web, because most money transfer apps are literally designed for mobile. Like I don't even think you can use Cash App or Venmo on the web. I think you can only use them for mobile apps. The only money transfer app that I can think of that you can use that is well known as PayPal, and that's about it. So I don't know, maybe I definitely want like a sidebar that has like, you know, dashboard, you know, the connected accounts that you have, debit or bank account, cards, you know, what cards do you have, contact, analytics settings, blah blah. Right, and then I don't know though, like the thing is we're building a money transfer app. We're not really building anything crazy. And we also want to have like an activity page so we know what's going on, right? So we'll have to generate activity feeds. And then we'll need a sidebar, maybe, probably not. But we could probably use something like chart.js, you know, show statistics or anything like that. The only purpose of one user to the other. That's really all its purpose is. There's no other purpose aside from that. But I really like this design a lot, if I'm being honest with you. Now, I would like to know where I could find these icons, because these icons look really nice. You know, I'm gonna bookmark this because I think honestly I might do this. I might do this one because it really does look really freaking nice, honestly. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys like that design? I personally like it a lot, and the colors just look great. Is there like an image dropper? You could also check out TransferWise. They do what money transfer. Like I said, we're not going to make it exactly like it. You know, it's just only for inspiration, of course. It doesn't have to be exactly the way it is. But, you know, I'm not that good with CSS myself, so this will be practice for me. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll build out the UI. And then once I'm done with that, I will make a new stream. Not today though, probably tomorrow or later. Later today at around 6. And I will go ahead and announce that we will be building a new app. So that'll be lots of fun for those who have been excited for the money transfer app for a while. I know I've been mentioning it a lot, so here it is. You guys get to watch me design it from scratch. Well, not from scratch, but using someone else's design. Now these icons won't be exactly the same because some of the icons that we see here you won't really find on React icons, and some of the icons on React icons you will not find here. But it's okay though, because it's just a mock-up, nothing more than just that. Though I do want to stay away from just solid icons. I do prefer outline, 100%. Tycho Don, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing? You know, this icon doesn't look too bad. So this could be, so is there an activity icon? So the dashboard will probably be mainly for activity, I guess. Unless you could think of something better. Streamline icon. Let's see. What's this one? Yeah, you know, these icons really do look really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. I definitely want to focus on outline icons. I definitely don't want any thick colored icons. Definitely not. Maybe, and this one's not bad. Whoa, I didn't mean to do that. Was not paying attention. Wait, let me do this again. Have you used Next with Nest? I think I have before. I mean, doesn't really matter too much because, you know, the API layer doesn't really matter what you use. It's going to be the same thing in the end anyways. I'm using Font Awesome Free for now to lead the switch. So you have the credit card. Yeah, I think that's pretty much going to be majority of it. Home, analytics, credit card. What more do we even need? Don't really think we need too much, to be honest with you. Because it's really just money transfer app. Of course, we can add other stuff too. Right? Maybe like settings. Setting. I want a nice light. Yeah, let's do this one right over here. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, this one might be too thick. Maybe there's one that's thinner, maybe? You know, clarity icons seems like it's really nice. Might use that for the next project. Alright, let me just switch this music. This music is really... Was looking around your DJS tutorials and wanted more but stumbled here. LOL. Well, welcome Cosmic Egg. Welcome to the stream. And I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so we'll probably have a logo for the app as well. Up top over here maybe. I don't know what that logo will be, but it'll be something, you know? It'll be something. Iconify. Something like this, maybe. Or money bag. We'll have a logo, don't worry. We'll create a logo for this app. And by we, I mean, I'll probably pay someone to do it. So that'd be like the logo of the app right over there. Okay. Yeah, so this is what it could look like. Obviously, we're not aiming to make it look exactly the same. Okay. But, you know, just, like I said, just an inspiration. Right? Just an inspiration. Yo, buddy, how are you, man? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Nice to see the app being worked on. Yeah, we're moving on, right? Like, we're not doing any coding today. Right now, it's just a design. And then next stream, I will start a new stream, new title, everything. And that'll be the start of a new journey for us. Building a money transfer application. The next PayPal, basically. The next PayPal. Well, Finalizing Inter, same font, I guess. Maybe we won't make this bold, maybe medium. We could do something like welcome, and then your name, right? Make it a customized Anson, the dev. Right? Like that. And, you know, let's see. They have dashboard over here. Again, we don't really need to copy exactly what they have. You know? We don't even need that text over there too. You could if you want to. Like I said, like, sometimes even just like looking at it, practicing placing the elements in the actual Figma design to really help you a lot. Because when you're actually designing it, it gives you, you know, and you're thinking about, oh yeah, how am I going to implement this? Well, it'll just come naturally over time. Okay, so yeah, we'll have probably one section over here, one section over here. I don't know what we'll do with this section though. But again, like I said, this is why you can't copy exactly what you see, because, you know, like sometimes what you'll see, it doesn't probably make too much sense based on the app that you're building. So it has to make perfect sense, as to align with what it is that you're trying to achieve. Now, do I really care about having a sidebar that shows the card? Not really. Does it look nice? Of course. And also, you probably would never show the full digits of the card. You would only ever show the last 4 digits. And plus, even when you're using Stripe, it would only show you the last 4 digits anyway, so. But yeah, we don't have to aim to make it look exactly the same, you know? But they also have a mobile version of this though, which is really cool. You can see that. That's what it looks like for the mobile version. I really do like the cards. And see, there's also more options too. Like, for example, over here, they have a different dashboard. This one looks really nice too. Like, we could even do this one too. You know, it's got the nice transactions. Sort by. Pagination on applications like this, so much easier when it comes. So much easier. And I can say that because I've done it before on these things. I've never done it for chat though, which is a whole different story. What are you doing? Just designing the money transfer app that we'll be working on. Soon. But yeah, I actually like this too, you know. And that's why you gotta just keep browsing for designs and finding one that you like that you can kind of work with. Whoops. Yeah, we quote unquote finished the chat app. And by finished, I pretty much mean that we, you know, technically did do a lot of stuff with it. And you know, I'm sure, you know, I just want to move on to a new application. So you know, this also looks nice too. I really like this too. It looks nice, compact. You got the balance pending. It looks really nice in my opinion. Personally, I like this a lot, you know. And this, like I said, you got to look at different ones. We can copy the sidebar that we just saw from the other one. For this one, we can copy this little section over here, right? You know, yeah, you just gotta be creative. Like, obviously, you can't copy exactly pixel for pixel, but you know, you can always mix and see what you can do with your creativity. That is the best thing anyone could do with their brains, is to be as creative as they can. Yeah, like, you know, I like this color, right? And I can, over here it could be like, you know, my balance, and right over here could literally just show, you know, your account balance, right? That's the first thing that people want to see, is their account balance. They don't really care about anything else but how much money they have in their account, right? You know, you could just display a big number. Let's say we have this amount of money, and you want to display it in a nice big font so they can see it. Maybe you can change the color to green, maybe make them feel a little bit more nicer. Green definitely shines out a lot. Okay. And then you can also, yeah, like for example, like I'm literally just looking at this. Obviously, I'm not copying exactly, right? But yeah, my balance could be right over here. And you can have, oh yeah, view my transactions. So basically, this money transfer application will be a platform that we'll use for our e-commerce app, which we will build probably around, maybe I'd probably say maybe November. It depends on how long it takes us to build out this one. But the faster we finish this one, the more we can move on to e-commerce. But I'd say probably around November is when we'll start the money transfer app. Is it just me, or I can't really see the difference between the color of the card and the background of the website? Could just be your monitor. Different monitor colors. Like, I could see it, but I know for a fact that if I put it in a different monitor, I can barely see it. I never saw a money transfer app in dark theme. I mean, Cash App is in dark theme. And just because one doesn't exist in a certain way doesn't mean that you can't create the way that you envision it. But yeah, I mean, I don't use Cash App that much, but I have the app and I'm looking at it right now, and it is all dark. I don't use Venmo though. I really wish I could get the colors on from I can just get the colors directly, which kind of sucks. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I can see this is a different color than this right over here. I don't know, maybe it's just me though. Okay, so probably will add some icons too. Icons will definitely make the design look more lively. 100%. Pending. Yeah, you know, like I said, this is not going to be the final design. We're just playing around, seeing what we like. It's called Figma. It's called Figma. Figma. let's see. Yeah, so with Stripe, there is pending balance, and there's also the current balance that you have on your account. And Stripe also has something where you can actually transfer everything to your bank account, and they also have automatic payouts as well. You can set the time either every day, every week, every month, every 14 days, whatever you want to do. But you'll see how it works when we get to that. But this will be a great. I have not used Stripe for a while because I used it in my last app, but I'm a little bit rusty, so it'll be a good way to kind of like refresh on my knowledge of Stripe, which is why I want to build this app, because I think Stripe has a lot of great tools, though, in my opinion. Yeah, Figma's a really nice tool. Figma is really nice. Okay. Yeah, my balance pending. I don't know if I really want to keep these two together, to be honest with you. I don't know. Maybe something like this. And then, I don't know, like, on the wireframe itself, it says view transactions, but like I said, we're not really gonna, I mean, transactions was probably defined something different by Stripe. So we'll have to look at the Stripe definition of what a transaction is. But, I'm trying to think. View activity. Maybe it's view activity. Maybe this could be like a grid down here. Could also change it up a little bit. I'm trying to think what else Stripe has. This is primarily like, so it's basically primarily going to be for money transfer, but we'll also use a lot of the other APIs as well. In case you guys don't know, Stripe has a lot of products, and like we can never run out of ideas of what we could build with Stripe. Like, for example, you can invoice people with Stripe, and invoicing is a really great feature that Stripe provides for you. So we can turn this not only from a money transfer app, but we can turn it into an app that you can use to create a business, to sell products if you want to. It's kind of like PayPal. You know, PayPal, you can invoice people, you can quote people, stuff like that. Yeah. Like, for example, we can change it up a little bit. We don't have to add only these squares, right? We can go down over here and we can add like a little, you know, a little action bar, right? And have like some quick menu actions for the user, like, you know, like new invoice, something like that, right? You know, but we probably won't. We will probably stay away from invoicing though, because we don't want to. Like I said, this is only primarily going to be for money transfer. We don't want to step away from that. We only want to focus on transferring money from you know, one person to the other, right? So new payment, something like that. Probably will change this color to something else, maybe. Probably not the best look, but we'll see what we can make out of it. Is green going to be the accent color of your app? I guess so. We'll see though. I don't know. This color looks very awkward, in my honest opinion. I personally don't like it. Personally, I don't like it. No. Definitely not this. It looks so bad. Let's see. Something about that icon just throws me off, really. Something about that icon just doesn't sit nice with me. Can have its own small card next to the button. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Still doing the chat application? Nope. What's up, Maya? Let's see. There has to be something that I could find that has plus. Maybe something like this. Right. But I don't know though. How would I style this? Cause I don't know. I definitely want to put it in like a container like this. But then that feels weird. Maybe I shouldn't put it down there. Maybe I should put it somewhere else. It'd be really cool. I think maybe I'd love to design something like this, like these custom cards. I think those look really nice. I've done something like that before in the past, but I think it'll be really nice designing something like this. It's like, for example, if it's, you can show like, the cards that the user has. So you can do something like this. So let's see. Twenty-two. There we go. And then just make the bottom show the expiration date. It's pretty straightforward, honestly. I think the bottom should be purple, something like that. And this should be white, something like that. Could be a dark background. Maybe too dark though. Alright, see you later, Shamix. Can you link multiple cards with Stripe? You can add multiple cards to your Stripe account, but I don't think you can. When it comes to transferring money, like for payouts, you can only add one at a time. So you can either have only a bank account or a debit card. They might have changed it since last time, because last time I used Stripe was back in like March. But last time I checked, with payouts, you can only have debit card or bank account. You can't have both. So what are Visa colors? Visa colors are, I think, blue, dark blue, and gold, I think, if I remember correctly. So you can do something like this. Something like that. Maybe a little bit lighter. Yeah, there we go. Let me make this a little bit more visible. And then expiration 09/30. Or actually, it's month and year, so let's do 24. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Let's change these to that, and then you can show like the name of the card, Anson the dev. Whoops. I don't know what other details the card I can't remember what other details Stripe has. But you guys will see that when we create a new Stripe account. We'll be doing everything in dev mode. Yo, what's going on, Captain Alpha? How are you, man? Yeah, but when you make a transaction on this app, you're gonna need to give in your card so you need to link multiple cards to your account. Yeah, you can link your. Basically, what you'll do is you'll set up a payment intent when you want to make a transaction, and that payment intent can basically have a card attached to it, and then you can use that to pay. So yes, you can add your card, or you can just enter a new card every single time. But of course, you can also add multiple. I mean, you can do a lot of. There's endless things that you can do with Stripe. You know, there's endless amount of things that you can do with Stripe. Endless. Endless amounts of things that you can do with Stripe. So shipping card, transfer card. I guess you can name your cards, I guess. So shopping. Can give them the option to name the card. This is why I like designing, because when you design your app, it also gives you ideas of what you could do to implement the actual thing itself. I think for this background though, I might do a gradient instead of just like straight up, you know, one single color. I think maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Could you shots add suffix to bootstrap input? I have no idea what you're talking about. Zion 19. I can't really help you with that right now because I have not used bootstrap for a while. I'd recommend you join Discord server though. There's a lot of people that would be more than happy to help you out if you show the code sample of what you're trying to do. Because I can't really tell you what you need to do right now based off of just that alone, you know. Maybe I'll also increase the font here a little bit, maybe. Maybe I'll also do this. And then for this, I can maybe dim it a little bit. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Not too bad. 20. What technologies are going to use for this project? NestJS and probably NestJS, to be honest with you. Might use Express. I don't know. We'll see. But to be honest with you, if I use Express, NestJS, it's not really going to make any of a difference. NestJS is going to take a little bit longer, but it's fine because productivity is going to be way better. Testing is going to be way better. Everything is just going to be way better. So that's why I just recommend just going with Nest. That's why I always tell everyone just to use Nest. But I'll use Next. I'll give Next a try. I've used it a couple times, but I'm not really that great with it, but it's okay. We're always here to learn new stuff, right? And then for e-commerce app, maybe I'll use Next.js as well. Because honestly, e-commerce makes the most sense to use Next. Because, server-side rendering, the product might not change that much. Money transfer app doesn't really make much sense to use, server-side rendering. But, everyone likes Next, so I'll do it. And CS framework like Tailwind, probably will just use style components again, because I'm just really good with style components, and I can do literally a lot of stuff with style components. In terms of font though, might just use the same font honestly though. Don't really like this font though, it's kind of ugly. Here, I'll do that. Yeah, you know, look, doesn't look bad at all honestly. Of course, we can always change it up a little bit. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Alright, we'll let them add maybe max 3 cards at once, maybe max 2 cards, we'll see. Let's see, where's my design? Yeah, so you have 1, 2, we can have this span, whoops, like this, have it equally spaced out kind of, right? Obviously we'll increase the size of this so that way it, you know, it fills up that gap, but yeah, you know, that's pretty much what it is. We'll also let people add bank accounts too. Though I think probably though, I'll probably just leave it like this so it doesn't span all the way to the end, maybe, I don't know. I don't really know how that will look though, but definitely we'll make sure that it'll all fit in one row. Definitely won't leave much empty space though. But yeah, you know, we can also do American Express because Stripe also supports American Express. They support Discover. It also depends on the country that you're in as well. They have JCB. I think JCB is Japanese. They have Union Pay. They have like a payment processing company from India. I think, I don't know what it's called. I forgot what it was. But they have a lot of different options. It's very flexible. Okay, now you see this right over here. It doesn't make sense for us to add this because we're not really building like, you know, an e-commerce app for this one, which is just really only a money transfer app. It makes sense to have balance and pending because, you know, we want to see our balance and we also want to see how much funds are currently pending. We also want to make sure we see a tab where the money is being transferred out, because remember, like I said, Stripe has something called payouts, and that tells you how much is being transferred to your bank account, to your debit or your bank account. Okay. Let me just do this real quick. Yeah, we'll figure out something to add in like the space. Like, you know, we could do the same thing. We can add like this chip icon to make it look more cool, you know. I'm sure that we can find that right over here. Somewhere here, right? Yeah, like right over here, right? See, there's that chip over there that we can add. Looks look a lot more cooler. Of course, you don't have to, but so if you run out of ideas, you can always do that. Of course, I don't really like this icon though. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Let me increase the font size for this so it's more visible. Okay, now it's way too big. Damn. Alright, let's try this one more time. Yeah, it needs to be a little bit smaller. should be fine now, I think. Yeah, this should be fine. It's called Figma. Figma is what it's called. I vote for Next. Yeah, a lot of people voted for Next. I think it's the winner. Of the poll. There we go. So yeah, there's already a gap between these two, 20. So make sure that this here is all 20, so that's fine. And then let's group this and this together. I'll make sure the gap top and bottom is 20 as well. So I mean, we don't have to make it exactly 20. Like this could be a little bit smaller if we really need to. Okay. But yeah, I'm not too sure about the color of this though. Might just change the color. Just might. I am not too sure though. Because the yellow kind of throws me off a little bit. But we can try a different variant, you know. This one might be harder to see, but you know. How long do you think the money transfer app will take? I have no idea. I cannot answer that question right now. Is Nest and Next related in some way? No, they're just different things. They just happen to have the same name conveniently. And you know, keep in mind, we don't even need to follow exactly the company's colors, you know? Like, it doesn't have to be exactly... Like, for example, Visa's colors are gold and blue. Or, yeah, gold and blue, but we don't need to follow exactly. You know, like... We don't have to do that. There's also MasterCard logo as well. But I don't know if there's a good logo for MasterCard, though. Box icon logo, I think, is this one. Or this one. Yeah, no, I don't like that. They're over there, of course. Like I said, you just play around with it. Like that. And they also have American Express as well. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if I like the yellow, to be honest with you. I prefer probably the black. The black definitely looks way better in my opinion. Or at least a grayish color. The yellow just feels really weird. It doesn't really feel, you know, orthodox with the color of the app, in my opinion. Maybe a white outline? Yeah, we could try a white outline. You could also do a drop shadow too. I don't know if a drop shadow would look nice though. Let's see, drop shadow could look okay. Let's look at effects. No, stroke. What's this look like? Yeah, the white background looks really nice. I like it. You know, something like this. You know, this actually doesn't even look that bad, honestly. Like even like a border over here and then a border over here. In terms of like designing this, probably would make it a flex box, maybe. Yeah, maybe a flex box. Could also, I don't really think it makes sense to use position absolute for this bottom part though. Could just be a flex box, top, like 2 elements, this and then this right over here. And maybe just do like a space between, maybe, with padding on the top. That's my guess. Put border in other cards. No, I think I'm gonna keep it this way. Yeah, I definitely really like this. I really like this a lot, honestly. I definitely don't like the yellow though. It does not look good at all. But I think dark background with a border really looks really nice, honestly. Especially this one looks really nice. This one doesn't look too bad too. Okay, so yeah, I mean, and of course, you know, if they don't have a card, you could we'll just show like an outline over here, add card. Maybe make the max 3 cards. You could add credit cards or debit cards, but you can only transfer to, obviously you can only transfer to debit or bank account. You can't transfer to a credit card. Can also add a gradient. All right. Now, in terms of what I want to add here in this, I could probably just add like a custom table that I can design. Like right over here. Like a custom, maybe not a table, but maybe like the last 5 transactions. I did mention earlier that we could do something like, I want to do something like, what's it called? I want to do something like an activity table, right? This could basically just, you know, show the last 5 transactions, right? There was one that I found earlier. Well, I mean, there is one over here, but this is not the one that I liked. There was one that I really liked a lot that I absolutely think would look amazing. Maybe it's on this page. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I'll find it. It's somewhere here. It was the theme, not theme. It was the design that was like white that I said looked really nice, and it really did look really nice. We're almost there. This looks really nice too. Looks really nice in my opinion. Card number, expired date, CVC. We could also like I said, we could also take inspiration from this. We don't need the background, but we could just take, you know, the way that they are showing the data and then doing it our way, you know. Recent transactions. Yeah, we could do something like this, you know. Icons, date, money, things like that. Invoices, lots of stuff that we could do. But let me find the one that I really want to show you guys though. But yeah, like I said, there's plenty of designs. And like I said, the more you do this, the better you'll build intuition on thinking about what you want to build. Sometimes you might just be able to not even need to look at this and you'll be able to build something from scratch. Like for the chat app, you know, I didn't really look at anything. Just came from my intuition. And it just happened. Just gotta try is all you gotta do. Otherwise, you'll never know what you're capable of. Yeah, I think this was the one, but it's hard to see though. There was a wider one that I really liked. Let me find it. is it? Yeah, right. This one over here. Yeah, like, you know, just show recent transactions. It says it has like a sort by drop down. We're not gonna add that because we're only gonna show like, you know, maybe like only like five, you know, activities. If they want to see more, of course, they can just go to the activity page, which we'll create. Yeah, so you know, we could do something like, you know, let me see, are these colors the same? 7B, 7B, 7B. Yes, they are. So we'll use this as our text. So let's do that. This is and then let's see, we could just do something like this. So, well, it won't be recent transactions, it will be, I guess we could call it transactions. Depends on how you want to define that for your app, because, you know, different apps will define these terminologies differently. Like, for example, it's primarily only going to focus on money in, money out. So we're not going to really focus on anything else aside from that. Let's see if there's any icons that resemble that. HRE Derek, how are you? Welcome to the Twitch stream. How are you doing? This could probably be money plus. Yeah, maybe money plus for that. Money. This could probably be canceled, but I want one where we are transferring out. Money plus. I mean, I guess plus could mean, like, you know, you are receiving money. Money minus withdraw, I guess. But I don't know. These icons seem really too similar, which is what I don't like. You can also change the color of the icons as well. So, example, money is coming in. That'll be a nice little green color. I'm fine, have a lot of work, but good, thank you. That's nice to hear, man. Always good to be busy. Yeah, I don't know, I don't really like this icon. These icons feel really weird. This is maybe better icons that we could use. Maybe we could just use a regular $sign. Yeah, I don't know. It's surprising that there are hard icons to find for cache. Because you'd assume that they'd be used a lot. Dash icons. Yeah, I'll just use these icons. This and this. I think these look way better, honestly, in my opinion. I'm sure React icons probably has way better icons though, in my opinion. But it's okay, we'll just do this for now. Yeah, it's the icons that make it look weird. But I promise you that it'll look a lot better when we use React icons, I promise. Rest assured. Let's see, do I want to change the color of this? Could also use font awesome. Yeah, I think these are font awesome icons. Yo, what's going on, Gabor? How are you? React icons is good. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, you know, we could create a simple table like this. You know, like I said, doesn't have to be super crazy. And like I said, this is just it's just going to be a simple mock-up. It's not the final result. Just something to work with in the beginning to get us on the road. And we can also add some stuff on the side too if we really want. If we really want, we can add something on the side, though I don't really know what we could possibly add, though. Right? We could add whatever. We could add charts. We could add, you know, like an action bar, like on the side, right? Like, you know, quick actions, like, you know, like for example, oh yeah, you know, make a new payment. Like, for example, we can add them over here. Like something like this, maybe. You know, like what are you up to? Just, you know, working on the Figma design for the money transfer app. That is what we are doing right now. That's what we've been doing, that's what I should say. Second. Let's see. What features are going to be on the money app? Well, the main important one is obviously just sending money. That's the first one that we'll work on. But this time though, I'm only going to focus on one feature at a time. With the chat app, you know, it was just a bunch of different stuff all thrown around and it was a clusterfuck. But this one, primary focus is just focusing on money. And then later on, we'll add other stuff like invoicing and quoting. Pretty much like, you know, what you could do with PayPal. Like if you've used PayPal before, you could do a lot of stuff with that. Yeah, because on PayPal, you can invoice people. You can do a lot of stuff with it, which is really great. So we'll add those actions as well. And you can do a lot of stuff with the Stripe API, so that's good. So yeah, send money. I don't know what else. Create invoice. You know, something like that. Let's create invoice, send money. You know, the thing is with Stripe is that Stripe has so many features, so don't worry, like we'll add a lot of features, trust me. We'll add lots of great features. But the main one that we'll be working on is, of course, transferring money. And it's been a while since I've done this, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, well, we're not really building a marketplace, I think, so I don't think we need to use Stripe Connect. I think, because with Stripe Connect is for sending money to the platform, and then the platform sends the money to the receiver. Basically, it's a destination fund. But with this, it's kind of like, you know, we're transferring money. So I think with this, it should be different, I think. So with the payments, this itself is for you, the individual, to receive payments. I think we do need to use Connect, I think. Yeah, I think we do need to use Connect, yeah. Yeah, I think we need to use Connect 100%. Yeah, we'll 100% need to use Connect. No doubt about that. But yeah, so there's a lot of other products that Stripe has. Like there's invoicing, there's billing, there's subscriptions. There's a lot of stuff, you know. You'll see as we progress with the app. You'll see a lot of stuff that we could do. Yeah, you know, I think this is pretty decent for wireframe. I don't know, what do you guys think? Could be I think maybe the colors could use a little bit of work, but overall I don't really like these. To be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of these buttons, to be honest with you. They're really weird to me, if you ask me. They feel really weird. Can you make a web game like Codenames? I have no idea what that is, to be honest with you. And we probably add something down over here too. I don't know what we'll add, but could add something just to fill the gap. It always is nice having all the spaces filled up instead of just having like a bunch of empty space. Feels really awkward having all that empty space, you know. We could add something down here though. Just not sure what we could add. Something like that. Yeah, I don't know. The PC Geek, thank you for following my Twitch. I appreciate that. Please check and tell me what things I need to make games like this. Code names. Just looks like a card game, I guess. Let me see. Is it? So it's showing me on Google Images. Is it a board game? Oh, I see. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty decent for now. Not too bad. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Though I'm tempted to just kind of move this recent transactions to this section over here. Maybe do something else with this. I'm not sure what I'll do at the bottom, though, to be honest with you. But I'll have to think, you know. I'll have to think. I shall think. It's a guess game. One from each team becomes spy master. Spy master gives hints. Oh, really? I have never heard of it before, but it seems pretty cool. Okay. So homepage, credit cards, analytics settings. Yeah, I think this should be decent for now. Recent transactions. Yeah. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, maybe we might implement a friend system as well. I don't even know if we should even do a lot of other stuff. The thing is, though, is like with this money transfer app, you could implement a friend system, but probably could just reuse the same. Here's the thing though, right? Like with this money transfer app, you guys will learn how this will integrate with the chat app, right? You'll see how it will work. I don't know if we'll have to recreate a new entire application though, because basically I want to create some kind of single sign-on. Basically, you just use one set of credentials and you can access all of the apps on like the domains and such. So you can log in with, like, you know, your regular application itself or your regular credentials for the chat app, and you know, well, it's no longer going to be tailored to just the chat app. It'll be tailored to a bunch of different apps that you can access, you know. There's basically like a network of applications if you think about that. Can also hide it behind a proxy as well. That's what I'm thinking. But quickly, this money transfer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good productive hour. Though I do really like this though. I will bookmark this as well. This looks really nice. Alright, I'm probably gonna get off right now. I'm gonna just go shower and just relax for a little bit. So, probably stream later today. So, if you guys want to watch, I will be streaming the money transfer app development process. So, I'll see you all in that